guys, what's going on? My name is Jacob Robinson, fishing guy down here on Lake Wedowee. I just wanted to give y'all a quick little fishing report. Today's Monday, October the 13th. I've been fishing the last 3 days, and I'm going to be down here at the lake all this week, but a lot's changing right now on the lake. It's that time of the year where things really start to change around. The temperature has a big swing from morning to, it's 80 degrees right now, and it was 45 this morning. You got a lot of fog in the morning, so you got to be careful out here running around. But like I said, I'm going to do a quick report of the lake conditions. We really haven't had a ton of rain. The lake is fairly clear for the most part, but you're starting to see a little bit of the lake turnover. Up the rivers, both the big and the little river, you're starting to see some dingy, dirtier water. Even though we haven't had a lot of rain, it's just that lake starting to churn over. You got the fall turnover starting to happen in certain areas. So when you get out here, like I said, it looks clean, but there's just a lot of stuff on the water, a lot of stuff floating, and it's almost got like a sweet tea tint to it. It's still clean. You can still see down in the lake a little bit, but like I said, it's not that crystal clear like it was just a couple weeks ago. But the water's anywhere from 73, 74 degrees in the mornings up to, 75, 76 during the day. So like I said, water's in the mid 70s. We're in the drawdown. I'm looking at the seawall right now. It's down close to 2 feet. So like I said, over the next couple weeks, it's going to be getting farther and farther closer to winter pool. But 2 baits to try out right now if you're bass fishing. It's hard to go wrong in the fall with the top water. This right here is a really good one. I actually had a guide trip the other day for bass. We probably caught 12 or, I don't know, I'm trying to think, probably 10 or 12 that we caught, and a couple more bites we missed on that little whopper plopper. That's just, I don't know, 100 size in a shad color, nothing crazy. As long as you're throwing something that looks like a bait fish, you can't go wrong. So like I said, just that little whopper plopper, top water, throw that around in the mornings. If it stays overcast, you can keep throwing it, or if the sun comes up, just focus on shade lines. You can throw it in the straight sun, but your chances of getting a bite are going to go down just a little bit. So like I said, that's the first one for bass, is just going to be that whopper plopper. And then the second bait that I'm throwing right now for the bass is going to be a little jig. I've noticed a lot of crawfish out on the banks, so like I said, that little jig is a good one to have on, and you're going to be able to get a bigger bite. Both of these baits can get you a lot of bites and catch a big fish. I'm sorry, both of these baits can get you a lot of bites and just catch a lot of numbers, but at the same time, with both a top water and a jig, you have that chance for a big bite. So that right there is just half-ounce jig, black and blue with a little brown green pumpkin trailer, nothing crazy. Just throwing that thing around, it's good in the clear water. It's good if you get up there in the dirtier water, and with the lake turning over, that thing stands out a little bit. Like I said, you can get a lot of bites on it. You can catch just average size fish, but there's also that chance of, getting your better than average bite and catching a really big one. Like I said, and that's what it takes to win a tournament this time of the year. I mean, I know they had a tournament, the first Wedowee Marine winter trail of the year a couple weeks ago, and I think it took like almost 18 pounds. A couple 16-pound bags got weighed in. So like I said, that takes some pretty good weight right now. But that's my 2 things to give a try on if you're going out here bass fishing. And then I'm going to cut the video and show some stuff for crappie. Okay, now for the crappie fishing baits. This past 3 days, we've still caught a lot of fish on minnows, but I'm getting a lot better jig bite than I have been. So typically it picks up later in the year. I'm not saying it's great right now, but I am catching more fish than average on a jig. So just a little, just a little crappie jig. That's gold, a yellow head, white body, little split shot. Throwing that thing out there, 10-pound braid, 8-pound leader, fishing it, out in the open, around docks, trees, brush piles, whatever it might be. That little jig got me some bites the last couple of days. Another thing that I was using for bass, but you can also catch crappie on it, is just that little jig head minnow. That's just that little Rapala mooch minnow, little 3/16 ounce head. Just like I said, anything that's a shad color, that's what these fish are really keyed in on. I had a trip today setting up some electronics for a guy, and we saw millions of shad, it seems. I mean, everywhere we went, we could pan around on a live scope, and there would just be a bait ball. That some of them were as big as the boat, some of them were as big as a school bus. I mean, there is a ton of bait out here right now. It can make it kind of hard to get a bite if you're around a lot of bait. The bass are really focused in on them. We did catch a couple bass today, throwing that jig head minnow around, and some nice crappie. If you're really trying to upgrade your quality crappie, if you throw that bigger, upsized minnow, you'll definitely get some bigger bites. But crappie fishing is really good right now. had a trip yesterday, Sunday, for 4 hours. We caught probably 80, and the people that I took out, it was 3 of us fishing. We kept 50 in 4 hours, and I bet we threw back 30 keepers that they just, didn't want to have to clean anymore. But fishing's really good right now for the crappie. Bass fishing's a little tough, but still some big weights being caught. But like I said, it's fall fishing down here at Lake Wedowee. Booked up for this week, which is a great thing. So thanks to everyone for all the support and booking trips with me. If you want to do a trip, just reach out and let me know. Send me an email, text message, phone call, whatever you got to do. But that's my fall fishing report. Like I said, Monday, October the 13th, 2025. Get out here on Lake Wedowee, try these baits out, and you'll hopefully catch some nice fish.